Okay, we're back. All right, real quick, let's go to Revelations 21. Again, for everyone who don't know, our classes will begin 9 a.m. every Sabbath going forward. Please spread it to everyone you know that we will begin early every week. 3 hours earlier. No more noon, no more 11 o'clock. From now on, we're going 9 a.m. Eastern time. Let's start at Revelations, the 20th chapter. The Sabbath teachings will start 9 a.m. Okay, that's good. All right, let's start at Revelations, the 21st chapter.
Revelations chapter 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, come down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them. And they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them, and be their God.
So as you can see, this is heaven coming to earth. And the tabernacle that's in the heavenly realm will be made manifest on earth. So there is no people going to heaven. Heaven is coming to earth. So when the Christians say you die and go to heaven, they are absolutely wrong. When you die, your spirit goes to an abode. You either go into the bosom of Abraham, or you go into torment, which is Hades. And that whole region to hold souls is in the center of the earth. There's a chasm on each side. The righteous can look over the chasm and see the torment and scorn on the other side of the chasm there. And those that are on the other side who have scorned the Most High, like the atheists we mentioned earlier, who've died unrepentant and decide to believe there is no God and go against the Most High's law, they will be in torment. And that's no secret to the Gentiles. They've always taught the belief of life in the underworld, afterlife. The Romans have taught it, the ancient Egyptians have taught it. They know that the fallen angels and demons and those that are scorned the Most High are in Hades. All right? So heaven is coming to earth. When people die, they don't go to heaven. They go either to the bosom of rest or torments. Read.
Verse 4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying.
Then no more death, sorrow, or crying upon the second coming of our Lord. Death is a curse that came with the sin of Adam. When Christ comes, the first thing he will do is subdue Satan. Let's get that real quick. Let's go to Revelations 20.
Revelations chapter 20, verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent which is the devil, and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
And bound him what?
And bound him 1,000 years.
And bound him 1,000 years. So there'll be no death or power over the Most High's creation. No more influence from the fallen Lucifer, from the fallen satanic power. He will be bound. Therefore, death will have no victory. Death came with Adam falling, therefore by default given all power to Satan, who by the death of fear put us all in bondage. A lot of us do certain things in this earth because we fear dying. We're controlled through the fear of death. But when you understand that death will be taken away, there's no more fear. All right? Read.
Verse 3. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled.
So as we can see, when Christ comes, Satan will be bound until after the 1,000-year reign, and that's his reward. That's Christ's reward. All right? For dying on the cross, for doing everything the Father asked him to do. His reward will be the 1,000-year reign as king before everything is turned back over to the Father. Let's go back to Revelations 21.
Revelations chapter 21, verse 4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega.
It is done. I'm the beginning and the end. Now let's hold that and let's deal with this kingdom real quick. Because John is seeing in a vision the kingdom coming down into the earth. But most Christians believe that the kingdom is going to float out from the heavens and land on earth. But let's see. Let's give you the scriptural understanding of this. Let's go to Luke 17 and read the 20th verse.
St. Luke chapter 17, verse 20. And when he had demanded of the Pharisees when the kingdom of the Most High should come.
When the kingdom of the Most High should come, read.
He answered them and said, The kingdom of the Most High cometh not with observation.
It don't come from you seeing it come out of the sky, to show you that what John is seeing isn't a physical kingdom just floating down. Read.
Verse 21. Neither shall they say, Lo here, or lo there. For behold, the kingdom of the Most High is within you.
The kingdom is what?
The kingdom of the Most High is within you.
He's letting us know that you've been waiting for the kingdom when it was in you the whole time. What people built every kingdom on the earth? The children of Israel. To show you, you're waiting for heaven like they're teaching you in slavery, when the power to rule is already in you. The power to do everything is in you, because the world use it. They use it to get power and gain power over the whole earth. Why? Who you think that's working and building everything in all these different empires we read from the old time? Who built America? Who built Rome? Who built Greece? Who built all these great empires? Every empire used us. Who built Egypt? So we were the kingdom the whole time. It's just that because of our fall, we have forgotten how to use the gifts of the kingdom for ourselves. We already have it. It's in us. It's it's not like the Most High is going to materialize something outside of his gifted people. It's in us, but the other nations, the Gentiles, utilizes it. And see, that's one of the keynote parts of Christianity. Teach them that the heaven is they're going to go to heaven and things happen after they die. While we use the kingdom of heaven, use all their gifts while they're living to build our kingdom. We'll take their gifts to build our kingdom and let them know they have to die or wait for theirs. Right? Read.
Revelations chapter 21, verse 6.
Before you go there, get Matthew 11 real quick. Matthew 11 and 11. They'll show you who the kingdom is.
St. Matthew chapter 11, verse 11. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of woman, there have not risen a greater than John the Baptist.
Let's show you who the kingdom is. Read.
Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he.
Go ahead.
Verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence.
The kingdom of heaven did what?
The kingdom of heaven suffereth violence.
The kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. So who was violent against us? The Romans. And what is Christ calling the kingdom right now? The children of Israel who suffer in violence under the hands of the Gentiles. So the children of Israel, all 12 tribes, are the kingdom. So they'll never tell you that you're the kingdom, that you're the children of Israel. Why? Because you would think to use the gifts of the kingdom for yourselves. See that? Let's go back to Revelations 21.
Revelations chapter.
And I'm saying this is because we have to break our slave mentality. That's why I'm putting this out there right now. That's the reason for it. And think that we have to get out of that dependent spirit, to think that the Most High cannot work within us to get things done. That the Most High have to do something on the outside to help us get something done. That's a slave mentality. If you don't use your gifts, the Gentiles will. Period. They know what to do with you. Read.
Revelations chapter 21 verse 6.
Go ahead.
And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega.
And really it's in Hebrew because Christ wasn't a Greek. He says, I'm Ah and Tha. Beginning and end. Read.
The beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst the fountain of water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things.
That proves to you that you must go through the tribulation to inherit the kingdom. You have to overcome Jacob's trouble to receive the kingdom. You're not going to be floated out into heaven someplace while some boogeyman comes to the earth to give everyone the mark of the beast. That's a myth being taught through Christian theology to get all the true believers on the sideline. If you believe you're going to be floated out, what good is you? You're not going to be utilized to fight against the empire, thinking that you're not going to be here. But if you know you must make it through, you will prepare your mind and prepare your spirit to fight against the Antichrist government. They'd rather you not even think that way. So they have taught a false theology to make you think you're going to be floated into heaven before the bad things happen. When the Bible says what?
He that overcometh shall inherit all things.
You must overcome to inherit this kingdom. The Most High is not going to you're not so special outside of how he treated his own son. He's not going to take you out from all bad things, then after it's done, float you back down into a kingdom. You must endure and fight your way into the kingdom, until the end, and go through Jacob's trouble. Read.
And I will be his God, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving.
The fearful and the unbelieving, read.
And abominable.
And abominable.
And murderers.
And murderers.
And whoremongers.
And whoremongers.
And sorcerers.
And sorcerers, which are those dealing with pharmacy or science, like a lot of these brothers out there that are dealing with pharmaceuticals, like your psychologists and your psychiatrists and psychologists, they're all sorcerers. They're all sorcerers. Read.
And idolaters.
And idolaters. You can't actually go into a church without tripping over one. Read.
And all liars.
And all liars, read.
Shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
That happens after the 1,000 years, which is the second death. The first death is the normal death. When you go into the bosom of Abraham or into Hades for torment. Well, after the 1,000 years, the spirits will resurrect that's left there. And they will be judged with Satan and his angels. Read.
Verse 9. And there came unto me one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife.
And there came unto me one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials. Hold that. Let's get Revelations 15 and 1.
Revelations chapter 15, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous 7 angels, having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up with the wrath of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And I saw as it were a sea of glass, mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark.
These are those that got the victory. See, these are the ones that's going to make it into this kingdom. They got the victory over what?
Over his image.
Over his image.
And over his mark.
And over his mark. You must reject the mark of the beast to make it to the other side. Now, it's hard for Christians to do this. Why? They are taught that anything that's instituted in the earth before they're raptured is not the mark of the beast. See that? So Barack Obama put a two-way radio, which is in his health care plan, and make it legislation, and once they crash the economy and make it law for everyone to get a chip or be deemed terrorist, if he do this, all Christians will back him, all the black churches will back him. Why? Because you're taught the Antichrist don't appear until after you're raptured. If there's a church and people haven't disappeared, well, I can get this chip now because Barack Obama said it's good. See how you've been programmed to receive the mark? Broad is the way that leadeth to damnation. So just because there's billions of people in the church, don't mean it's the way to salvation. Read.
And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image.
Go ahead.
And over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. And they sing a song of Moses, the servant of the Most High, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are the works, Lord power almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou art holy, for all nations shall come and worship before thee.
All nations shall come and worship before Ahiah. Read.
For thy judgments are made manifest. And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened, and the 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, clothed in pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. And one of the 4 beasts gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden vials, full of the wrath of the Most High, who liveth forever.
Who liveth forever. So that lets you know that after Christ was crucified, the 7 angels will begin to pour out their vials to allow all the evil to happen in the earth you see today. So this is what gives Satan the power to do what he's doing, because the vials have been released. Okay, so some people ask, well, why is God allowing this to happen? He had to let loose the vials first. And all must be fulfilled within those vials before the kingdom returns. You see that? Let's go back to Revelations with the 7 angels. Read the 9th verse.
Revelations chapter 21, verse 9. And there came unto me one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying,
Go ahead.
Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from the Most High.
Go ahead.
Having the glory of the Most High. And her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. Verse 12. And had a wall high and great, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon.
Now remember when Christ says he's going to prepare a place? In his Father's house there's many mansions. We're going to show you how these mansions are built, how these rooms are built for the elect. Read.
And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Of everybody?
Which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
All people.
Which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
I don't understand how a Christian say it doesn't matter who you are, when the address on the kingdom is the 12 tribes of Israel. Do that make any sense to you? Why shouldn't this say all people, all Gentiles, everybody on the kingdom? You have to realize when Christ returns, the Israel is going to be for Israelites. And the whole earth will be cut in lot according to families again. Ham will have his area. Japheth will have his area. And the seeds of Shem will have their area. It's going to be the same. It's going to be cut in lots. They will have their borders, their land where they live. It's not going to be just everyone holding hands all together in one big pot somewhere and different people mixed. That's not the kingdom. That's a Jehovah's Witness picture. Okay, that's what that is. Once a year, the Gentiles are going to come up and pay homage to our Lord and Savior in respect of the children of Israel, whom name is on the kingdom. And then you will go back to your respective areas. Okay, that's the real kingdom. Okay, and it's going to be total order. There will be no homosexuals in this kingdom. There will be no evil whatsoever in this certain kingdom. Not even listen to this. Not even the thought of evil will be in this kingdom. Why? Because the author of all evil, the progenitor of all evil, will be bound in chains. Read on.
This is Revelations chapter 21, verse 3.
Go ahead.
And on the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates.
Go ahead.
And the wall of the city.
And you know there's 3 gates for each tribe, right? Each 3 tribes. Read.
Verse 14. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations.
12 foundations.
And in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
So the 12 disciples is the foundation. The same way the doctrine was set, with Christ as the chief cornerstone, and the 12 disciples with the doctrine that would feed the world with the knowledge of the Most High. That's the foundation. The apostleship is the foundation. Read.
Verse 15. And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city.
See that angel that went to measure the city? Let's see what that angel with the reed is measuring. Hold that. Get Zechariah the 2nd chapter and Revelations 11.
Verse 1.
Go ahead.
I lifted up my eyes again and looked, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand.
Same measuring line you see in Revelations. Read.
Then said I, Whither goest thou?
Where are you going?
And he said unto me, To measure Jerusalem.
To measure who?
To measure Jerusalem.
To measure the people of Jerusalem. This angel is not measuring Christians. He's not measuring everybody. The people of Jerusalem are the children of Israel. Read.
To see what is the breadth thereof.
To see how wide it is. Read.
And to see what is the length thereof.
And see how tall it is. It's speaking of this kingdom. Read.
Verse 3. And behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went out to meet him, and said unto him, Run, speak to this young man, saying.
Speak to this young man, saying what?
Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls.
So it's speaking of the children of Israel. Read.
For the multitude of men and cattle therein.
We're going to have all this in the wilderness. Read.
For I, saith the Most High, will be unto her a wall of fire round about.
He's going to be a fire round about us, the same as during the time of Elisha. The same as during the time of Elijah. He's going to be protecting his people. Read.
And will be the glory in the midst of her.
Read.
Ho, ho. Come forth and flee from the land of the north.
Ho, ho. At last, my people Jerusalem, come and flee from the land of the north. Read.
Saith the Lord.
Saith who?
Saith the Lord.
Saith the gathering of Christ Church.
Saith the Lord.
Saith who?
Saith the Lord.
Saith the Lord. Read.
For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heavens.
I've spread you abroad. Read.
Saith the Lord.
And see, the Most High did this. He could not have done this without first taking our identity. Now that the truth is being shouted from the housetop who the children of Israel are, and they're waking up all over the earth, no longer can that be a crutch. No longer can that be a crutch to have us depend on Babylon. Read.
Verse 7. Deliver thyself, O Zion.
No, wait for something to pick me up and drop me somewhere.
Deliver thyself, O Zion.
Read.
That dwellest with the daughter of Babylon.
Deliver thyself that dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon. Hold that and let's get Revelations 11.
Revelations chapter 11 verse 1.
Read.
And there was given me a reed like unto a rod.
Same measuring tool we see in Revelations. Go ahead.
And the angel stood saying, Rise, and measure the temple of the Most High.
Let's see what the temple of the Most High is. Read.
And the altar, and them that worship therein.
Go ahead.
But the court which is without.
But the court that's outside of Israel. Read.
Without the temple leave out.
Leave out.
And measure it not.
And measure it not. Why?
For it is given unto the Gentiles.
So that angel in Revelations 21 that's measuring the kingdom is not measuring Gentiles. So you cannot be teaching in the Christian church, it doesn't matter who the Israelites are. Because the Gentiles are not even measured for the kingdom. It's the Israelites' kingdom. The Gentiles will partake if they follow the Israelites' God. By the same token, every empire then had their own kingdom. The Persians, which are Asians or Japheth, had their kingdom. The Greeks and Romans, which are Edomites, had their kingdom. The Hamites, which were Egyptians, had their kingdom. The Babylonian and Assyrians had their kingdom. So how is it they're going to have their kingdom and the children of Israel's kingdom too? The same way we partook as underlings under their kingdom, they will partake as underlings under ours. Only if they believe. It gets no clearer than that. They're not even measured for the kingdom. The angels are not even supposed to look at them for the measurement. They're going throughout the four corners where Israelites are scattered and measuring the leaders who will be under the 12 disciples. Let's go back to Revelations.
Revelations chapter 21, verse.
And someone may ask, well, where do that leave the women? Well, we all know that even according to Scripture, that the women of a man's household or in his house were counted under the man. It's that simple. So the Most High is leaving no one out. Even the virgins, even people without husbands are counted under the man. What man? Christ. No one is left out. Okay? Finish reading.
Revelations chapter 21 verse 15.
Go ahead.
And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city and the gates thereof, and
Go
the
ahead.
wall thereof. And the city lieth foursquare, and the length is as large as the breadth.
Go
and
ahead.
he measured the city with the reed, 12 furlongs, 12,000 furlongs.
What 12,000 furlongs? Go ahead.
The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal.
Are equal. Go ahead.
And he measured the wall thereof, 144 cubits.
Hold up now. The whole kingdom is actually measured from Christ, the cornerstone, 12 disciples, which are the pillars, and 12,000 from each tribe, which makes up the 144,000 of the tribes of Israel. So that means there is no room in this kingdom at all that's being built when Christ says, I went to build these many mansions. I went to prepare a place for you. Why? Because the Gentiles will be in their own land. See, it's hard for you to believe being born in a system, a Babylonian system of all people mixed and no one know who anyone is. It's hard for you to perceive the importance of having people live amongst their own people. That's peace. That's no war. That's them understanding their own people. It's when you get everyone mixed and confused and fighting amongst each other because they're trying to figure out whose culture is more dominant. That's where wars and evil comes from. It's nothing wrong with Hamites living among Hamites. There's nothing wrong with other nations living amongst their own people so that they can practice freely with their people. The system has twisted you to make you believe something is wrong with that. When Christ comes, the first thing he's going to do is divide all nations according to their nation line. Let's get to Matthew 25 and 31 and read that and come right back. Let's prove that. So we can all be together and still live amongst our separate people. Nothing wrong with that. We'll see each other once a year anyway when everyone come up to Jerusalem. But then we'll go right back to our respective lands. And the Most High did it in the beginning. Look what happened after Noah. These were his 3 sons. You would think they would have stayed with him. No. Japheth had to go to his land, Shem went to his land, and Ham went to his land. And they make you believe that something is wrong with that. You know what's wrong? What's wrong is when you're not satisfied with what the Most High gave you and go look to take what belonged to someone else. That's wrong. That's wrong. There's no need for conquest if you accept what the Most High has given you. There's enough land on this earth for everyone according to their fathers. If you don't believe me, drive on one of these country roads one day and look at all this land, free land that no one is living on, while they got you packed in cities like roaches. Read it.
St. Matthew chapter 25, verse 31.
Read it.
When the Son of Man shall come in his glory.
When Christ shall come in his glory.
And all the holy angels with him.
Go ahead.
Then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations.
All nationalities, which means all nations. Read.
And he shall separate them one from another.
Join them together.
And he shall separate them one from another.
He shall separate them one from another. Ezekiel lets us know, even in the book of Isaiah, the 60th chapter, it lets you know that all nations will once a year come up to Jerusalem. Christ will divide them according to line. Now, there's no such thing as mixed people. Your line is your father. There's no such thing as mixed people. I don't care if you look like if you go to some type of DNA confusion test, get some confusion test to tell you 3% Asian, 5% black, and 80% German, and all this mess they give you. No, it's simple. The woman bears the egg. The only thing that's really moving with life is the sperm cells. Do you know that even a man determines male or female? That's in regular science, which is they call X or Y chromosome. Only the man can determine what gender the baby is. Mm-hmm. Common sense will tell you that the nation is the father. Common sense. But the Jewish people like to confuse you by telling you that they can trace their Jewish lineage through their mothers, which is total confusion. When all the Jews in the Bible trace their lineage through the fathers. Look at it, even through Christ. Abraham down to his father Joseph, down to him in Matthew the first chapter. All the Jews are reckoned from the fathers until these Jewish people pop up and say, we're going to do it through the mother. When the mother is like the earth. You can plant an apple and an orange seed in the same earth, in the same lot of dirt. It's not going to come up part earth and part orange tree, part earth and part apple tree. It's going to come up, whatever seed you put in that earth, that's what it will be. There's no such thing as mixed people. See that? Now, read what you have in Matthew. Let's go back to Revelations.
Revelations chapter 21. Verse 17.
And hold 21 and 17, and let's move to Revelations, the 7th chapter. Hold that, because we're going right to Revelation 7 to break down the 12,000 that's being measured and the 144,000 cubits that's measured when Christ says, I go to prepare a place. Here's the mansion. There's a title on it. It's not Jews, Gentiles, and everybody. The title on this kingdom is the 12 tribes of Israel. So how can Christians teach today it doesn't matter who the 12 tribes are? That's blasphemy. Christ came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. The Romans didn't want that. He didn't want these people whom they would use, who was used to build their kingdom, to realize that the kingdom Christ was bringing was for his people. Then how will the Romans have their slaves? We need him dead. We cannot let these people know that this kingdom is for them, because we're using them to build our kingdom. Right? Read it, Revelation 7.
Revelations chapter 7, verse 1.
Go
And
ahead.
after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth,
Go ahead.
holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God.
Go ahead.
And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
Until the servants are sealed. Let's see who are the servants of the Most High. Let's see if it's Jimmy Swaggart. Let's see if it's Oral Roberts. Let's see if it's Joel Osteen. Read.
Verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the children of Israel,
Everybody.
of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
It don't get any plainer than that. And that's in Revelations. You know what they'll tell you? Oh, that's talking about spiritual Israelites. Well, if it's talking about spiritual Israelites, why is it naming them by name, one by one? If it's just one big spiritual Israelites, why did the Bible go through such detail to break down each tribe? So if you are a Christian that's a spiritual Israelite, show me what a spiritual Judah looks like. Show me what a spiritual Levi looks like. Show me what a spiritual
Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000.
tribe of Judah was sealed. What?
12,000.
Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000.
Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000.
Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000.
Christians love talking about that kingdom. But what about this? We're measuring the kingdom for you. And I know some Christians that say, well, that ain't my kingdom. You know what? You're absolutely correct. You're living in your kingdom. Because this kingdom is measured after the people of the kingdom. These are no spiritual Israelites that's being measured. These are 12,000 men who are following the truth of Christ, keeping the commandments, and uphold the blood of Christ. Read.
Of the tribe of Naphtali were sealed 12,000.
Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000.
And this is how they skew things. Well, no one take a DNA test. Who told you that's the indicator of who people are based on their DNA test? You know, the devil created the DNA test. Okay? Where was the Most High's DNA test when he took the children of Israel out of Egypt? Well, hold up. Let's take a DNA test to see who leaves. That's total madness. Okay? Our spirit beareth witness that we are the children of the living God. Our spirit beareth witness. Read.
Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000.
Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000.
Come on.
Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000.
We're just measuring the kingdom. And some people say, well, that's being separate. Well, we didn't have an issue when the Greeks were ruling. We didn't say, well, that ain't fair. The Romans, when the Romans rule, well, hold up, shouldn't it be our kingdom too? Oh, I know, because Barack Obama is president, you think it's your kingdom. No, he's a puppet that's being utilized by the synagogue of Satan to lead his people to the depths of hell. He can do nothing. without those who bankrupt him and put him in position so that our people are still. So our people won't move at the most dire time in earth's history. Read on.
Verse 8. Of the tribe of Zebulun were still 12,000.
Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Joseph were still 12,000.
Joseph is Ephraim, the Bliqua Taino Indians. Read.
Of the tribe of Benjamin were still 12,000.
That's the Jamaicans. And you got Gad. You have the Dominicans. You have the Negroes. You have the people in Africa. The dispersed in Ethiopia. You have the Panamanians. You have the Zebulons. You have the Negroes over there in Argentina and Chile, in Brazil. The Indian tribes there. In Belize, you have our people over there in Australia. The people that are suffering by the hands of our oppressors in Australia, which are from the tribe of Reuben. The North American Indians, which are Gad. Read.
Verse 9. After this,
and then you have other nations, which we accept that they're willing to follow Christ, going to pop up and say, well, I don't see us in here. You got everything already. I mean, how selfish can you be? You done got everything, and you want the kingdom that's going to be to the poor and the meek that Christ spoke of. How greedy can you be? I mean, we allowed you to pick peas and cotton in our kingdom. This is what they're saying. What about us? We had our foot on your neck in our kingdom. I'm going to show you how righteous the Most High is. He will not allow us to treat you like you've treated us. That's how righteous he is. Read on.
Verse 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations, kindreds, and people and
now
tongues.
We're talking about other people. But they are not measured in that kingdom that came out of heaven. Read.
Stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and with palms in their hands.
Go ahead.
And cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God.
Salvation to our God. Everyone is in agreement with Ahia now. Read.
Which sitteth upon the throne.
Let's go back to Revelations 21.
Revelations 21 and 17.
Go ahead.
And he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man.
The measure of a what?
To the measure of a man.
The measure of what man? 12,000 from each tribe. So you can't sit here and tell us that it doesn't matter who Israelites are, that it's wrong to teach who Israelites are when the kingdom is named and measured after all the children of Israel. Now, of course they can't teach this in the church, because they taught this, then they would have to now start identifying what people fit the prophecies of the 12 tribes. And that leaves out the theologian schools in the Catholic Church who have taught you lies concerning the children of Israel, because they're not included. Then we'll start asking, well, what made you the authority to teach our book? Get out of here. Get to the back of the class. Okay? Don't even raise your hand. You come and you learn. You Roman deceivers. That's why they can't teach it, because now we must. Somebody in the class going to be like, well, if the kingdom is measured after the children of Israel, and that's what we all want, the kingdom, then shouldn't we be trying to figure out who these people are? They are the leaders, you know, that will lead under Christ. Right? Oh no, these Satanists, they don't go that way. They'll be like, well, doesn't matter, man wrote the book, and the Bible doesn't matter anyway, become atheists, worship Satan. Okay? You get into, as long as we can use this while you was picking peas and cotton and thought that Cedric Bourget was your Christ, okay, all right, we could open up the book. But now you Negroes and you people can read now. So we need to move you out of the book now into atheist teachings. And we hear that they're going to roll out Lucifer as your God now. They done transitioned or then move you into a re-education to accept Satan as your God. Why? Just because you realize the book belonged to you. And they were liars the whole time. Read on.
Verse 18. And the building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold like unto clear glass.
And let me tell you, and the kingdom is going to be so thorough, so clean, that we're not even going to need maintenance people. Okay? The kingdom is going to be immaculate. Total immaculate. Now, not before the 7 years of Gentiles cleaning up some of their mess. It's going to be 7 years where Gentiles will need to clean the earth. Israelites will not work at all during those 7 years. Not once. Why? We've been working for all the empires written of in Daniel. And you still haven't showed us rest. You still haven't showed us rest. So, you messed up the earth, you clean up the earth. That's fair. Read.
Verse 19. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third chalcedony, the fourth an emerald, the fifth sardonyx, and the sixth sardius, the seventh chrysolite, the eighth beryl, the ninth topaz, the 10th chrysoprase, the 11th a jacinth, and 12th the amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of one pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. And I saw no temple therein.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the... Hold up, listen to this though. Look at the streets now, they're all tore up. Yeah, they sitting there with asphalt, putting asphalt down with a truck rolling over it. I'm like, people dying, you smoke, you sitting there choking. Look at the streets they have right now, bumping all over the place, like clear as crystal glass, pure gold. Now that's a kingdom. I don't know what they got running right now. I have no idea what this is. Imagine that. I mean, even the thought of something like that is beyond our comprehension. Mm-hmm. A street so crystal, like it's gold and it's like crystal glass. Read.
Verse 22. And I saw no temple therein, for the Most High Ahia Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it.
Now the Most High have made his abode amongst men. Now check that out. Why? Because I told people a long time ago, what do you think the earth is turning in? It's turning in heaven. Mm-hmm. You saying that you have to go to heaven, the earth is in heaven. It's spinning in heaven. The Most High is going to show his presence to this earth and embrace his people. Okay? So what type of weapons can you make? Your little drones? Are you kidding me? I used to hear people like, oh, I'm so scared, drones. Listen. Listen, I believe what I'm reading here. Can you imagine when Christ is on his way and this space junk is falling to the earth? People going to be running out. They're going to be ducking satellites and everything. Satellites, boom, boom. Planes falling out of the air. And I'm just going to be sitting there smiling. Like, listen, now I'm fine. I'm good. I was just sitting there looking at your space junk fall. Oh, hold up. I think we lost connection. Yeah, of course you lost connection. Okay, of course you lost connection. Okay? I mean, what a glorious time. No more hurt, no more crying, no more looking for somebody to make up lies to engage and attack us. Okay, no more talking about the Illuminati and all that secret. Listen, all that is going to be finished. They're going to be crushed without hand. Finish reading.
Verse 23. And the city had no need of the sun.
No need of the sun. Why? Because when Christ returns, the sun, that heavenly luminary, must change her light to darkness. Must change his light to darkness. Why? Because the sun is male and the moon is female. They must both lose their light for the greater light. To give way to the greater light. When Christ is on his way, and this is how the world will know he's on his way, it's going to be total darkness. All angels will turn back into their original form before the creation, and the only light in the universe will be him returning. When the Bible tells you there's darkness and no light in it, all luminaries will bow to Christ and then get behind him on his way back. Now that's when people are going to know, okay, something is going on. Total darkness. Nothing works that have light. Finish reading.
Verse 23. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon, to shine in it. For the glory of the Most High did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof.
There you go.
And the nations of them which are saved.
And the nations, to show you the Gentiles will be saved. The nations who are saved, read.
Shall walk in the light of it.
Shall walk in the light of our Lord. Read.
And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it.
What's that? Their finances. Their jewels. All their gold. Yeah, you bringing that back. That don't belong to you. All you trying to trade on the stock market, think, okay, what's gold? Let's see what the number of gold is today. Let's see, going up, going down. No, I'll tell you what. You bring all that back home, or you take a dirt nap. Go to Isaiah 60 and let's show that. Oh yeah, I got a silver coin I'm gonna hold on to. No. It don't work that way. Isaiah 60 and 12, read it.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 12.
Here's for the people who feel that they're going to do what they want to do. Listen, you can't tell me what to do. I'm an atheist. Read this.
For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee.
For the nation and kingdom that refuse to serve the children of Israel.
Shall perish.
Shall what?
Shall perish.
Shall perish, read.
Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
You shall be utterly wasted. Dirt nap. Okay? This is no thing where there's going to be some negotiating where you get to throw a tantrum until somebody can wait for you to come around and say, okay, I'll do it. The Bible says that out of the Gentiles he will suffer from amongst them for continual employment. Oh, there will be no people without jobs. Everyone will have a place in cleaning up the mess you've created. Let's finish off in Revelations. Go ahead.
Revelations chapter 21, verse 25.
Go ahead.
And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there.
There shall be no night. Read.
And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it.
That means the forces of the Gentiles, which is all their finances. You can read that in Isaiah 60. Read.
Verse 27. And there shall be no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the book, in the Lamb's book of life.
Anyone that's following any religion in this earth, any Gentile religion, especially the religions of the Jewish powers, all sorcerers, all pagans, all atheists, all so-called homosexuals, you will die. You will not make it through this. There will be no place for you in our kingdom, according to the Most High. So it was spoken. Shalom.